Hello there, I'm Couch Coop and welcome to my video diary of Cyberpunk 2077 on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Now I'm covering a lot of different stuff in this video to do with nighttime, some of the settings, and of course I found the photo mode. All will be revealed in a second. But let's just talk about HDR. Get it off, turn it off. If you're playing this on the PlayStation Pro or base level system, which you shouldn't be doing, but turn it off, get it out of there. It doesn't work. It doesn't work on PC. It's just probably going to be patched. I hope it performs a lot better without. I'm actually pretty impressed with how Night City looks at night, and I do like the shadows and reflections and some of the detailed reflections on the floors and surfaces. But we are seeing that granular stuff happen all the time, especially on pavements, etc. So again, turn the film filter off. I have mentioned that before. There's no need to have it on there. Things are so much crisper in the distance. And I'm also covering how the game's performing at night as well. And so far so good. I was thinking I'd see an improvement on performance, seeing that everything is darker, draw distances are massively shortened, and therefore the system isn't chugging with this engine as much, but there's no real massive difference. It's not like the game runs better at night or anything. But what I will say, and what they have nailed, is that whole neon, Blade Runner, amazing, misty, smoky, dirty, seedy city vibe. It's really well done. I actually wanted to talk about the PC version of this game and some of the footage I've seen in 4K with the ray tracing added, and that is just where this game is coming into its own. Now a lot of people are like, I can't believe CD Projekt Red have done this to us console owners. What you need to remember is that they are PC game developers. The Witcher 1 and 2 didn't even come out on console, and they were developed on PC, etc. So I don't see it unusual that they've thrown all of the tech support and all of the good looking stuff at high-end PC owners. I just hope to God it trickles down to the PlayStation Pro version at some point. We have had some information about another patch coming through in January, but 2 weeks is a hell of a long time to wait for that. I'm showing you some of the more detailed stuff with the shadows and with different lighting textures. But back to the high-end PC stuff and seeing those frame rates and seeing that ray tracing and that 4K resolution, and just the game is barely recognizable to the console versions. Now this also spans over to the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox One X footage that I've been seeing. That is also got problems. It's not like it's a GPU thing with the base level systems just not been able to handle this engine. The entire console section of launch was completely neglected, which is really depressing. And of course, CD Projekt Red completely underestimated the mammoth task of launching on how many systems? 4 consoles and PC. That's just a task they obviously couldn't handle. That just doesn't marry up with the 7-year development roadmap, which the majority of which would have been for the base level systems, i.e. the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. We're just really lucky that the Pro version is blatantly performing a lot better than those aforementioned systems. We're really lucky. Now that brings me on to something else now. Lens flare. Lens flare is an option within the menus. Now I'm a big J.J. Abrams fan, so I don't mind lens flare. I actually quite like it sometimes. It really gives a sense of awe to the bigger set pieces, especially at night, and especially with the neon stuff going on. But you may want to turn it off. I don't know if it's going to improve the performance of the base level version of this game on the PlayStation 4, but it's there as an option, and you might be thinking it's just annoying me. It is available to be taken off. One of the things that is annoying me beyond belief, again, is that after patch 1.04, I still get a janked out loading screen. I get it every time. Does anyone else get this? This is before I've even started. It starts putting me in a mood because it can't be asked to show me the loading screen correctly. You might be thinking, bloody hell, Coop, your attitude's changed a little bit over the last 2 days, and there's a few reasons for this. Fuck, it's a chainsaw! It's a leaf blower, Jesus. Leaf blowing in the UK. It's windy today. It's like trying to comb Boris's hair. Nature's just going to take its course. Talking of nature, I do actually love the weather mechanics in it and how cool and dingy it looks when it does actually start raining properly. And all of these reflections work. Alright, ready for the photo mode? Found it by accident. You have to click in both your analog sticks. The game will chug have a think, and then put you into this photo mode, which has got a removable UI. It's not a bad photo mode actually, but what it does do is just show how weird looking this game is. And like, I'm so disappointed with the character clothes and stuff, and they've really missed a trick with getting good designs and clothes and cool stuff. I'm so up for making myself look cool and being able to look at myself. We're not in enough of the cutscenes. There's just not that character development. And of course, moving on. Just back to some of the settings stuff quickly. If you're playing this on a base level system, you also might want to move the motion blur off and put your depth of field off. Just basically anything that's going to bugger or trigger that engine. If you're playing it on a Pro, crack on. I would only take the film grain off, and obviously don't do the HDR. Leave the lens flare on, leave the motion blur on. I like it. I like it when you're driving. It adds a sensation of speed. I remember GTA Vice City were one of the first people to introduce that. It doesn't improve or, you know, it slowed down, and it doesn't have an effect. What does have an effect is taking off the background blurriness on your photo mode. Take depth of field out and look at the crispiness that you've got there. So much better. And of course I found out the other day that this is Keanu's bloody motorbike brand. Jesus, man, didn't they pay you enough to star in this? And then you've got to sneak half your merchandise in as well. Okay, let's get back to something quite serious here now. Up till today, I haven't been avoiding the main campaign as much as I could and doing every side quest, all the moderate danger side quests. But I'm starting to run out of them. I don't want to progress in this game until I play it on the PlayStation 5. That's the God's honest truth. Stuff like this. I've moved past a police barrier that's not loaded in. So I'm now got a warrant issued, but it's clipped out. So I don't realise I've done that. Then it clips in, then NPCs clip in, and then that bloody Regina woman calls, and then the police turn up, and the police system is just terrible. They're not frightening. I thought we'd see those big things flying in if you kicked it off. Nothing. This all can be fixed. That's the good news, is that it can all be fixed. Got a massive issue with the loot system and the guns. They're too frequent, they're everywhere. I don't know which ones are really good. They are color coded, but they're just dropped around everywhere. The ammunition seems to be sparse sometimes, but around loads in others. I want to look at my weapon. I want to be able to go into my inventory and turn it around and go, I love that cool pistol, I'm going to keep hold of that, I'm going to put attachments on it. But the 2 minutes down the line, you found something else that's better, and goodbye pistol. There's no ownership with any of the guns. They don't feel substantial enough to keep hold of or develop, you know. And some of them have got really cool skins on that you can't even see because they're held in hand. A deep breath, Coop. All right, this is how I'm doing this. I'm going to play as much of the side content as I can on my PlayStation 4 Pro, because as you all well know, it does work on the Pro, and we are getting 30 frames per second. Everyone's getting these bugs on all of the systems. So if you're desperate to play the game, grab it on the Pro and have a good time. It's a free upgrade to the PlayStation 5 version. No one in the UK can get hold of PlayStation 5s yet. I'm doing my nut. I'm sitting here playing a mediocre version of a game that I should be playing on a PlayStation 5 that's even broken on that system anyway. But back to the point. Play it on the Pro, get your head around it, do all the cool stuff when we all get hold of the 5s and we get that free upgrade, yeah? See you down there.